Welcome back to the next video in our Lughnasadh video series of the 8 Sabbaths. I'm Lesley, the Metaphysical Crone from Innerji, and Twisted by Mish is busy doing some twistations and making some other videos as part of this series, so she will be back very soon. Now, in this video, I'm going to be creating an essential oil blend for this Sabbath. And as we spoke about, if you've seen our intro video to this particular Sabbath, we did talk about this being the first harvest, and in particular, the harvest of grains. So it's a festival, a celebration. It's also about abundance and gratitude for what we have been able to harvest in our lives at this time. So I've based my essential oil blend on that. So let me turn the camera around and let's start blending together. I'm going to be using 5 essential oils for this particular blend, and I've laid out 4 of my essential oil cards. Lemon Myrtle is one of the oils in the blend, but unfortunately I don't have a card for that. Now, I've chosen Lemon Myrtle because it is sweet and lemony. It also has a little bit of tiny bit of earthiness to it, and also being in the Southern Hemisphere here in Australia, Lemon Myrtle for me represents a particularly good Australian oil for this season. The other oils I'll be using are lime. Lime is light, fresh and cooling. With the hot summer period that we're experiencing here, it is so appropriate. And energetically, lime is also good to represent entertainment because Lucina is a celebration, and also delight, so that we delight in what it is that we are harvesting. And that is in mind, body, or spirit, not just what we're physically harvesting. The next oil I've chosen is patchouli. Now, patchouli has a more earthy, herbaceous aroma to it, and patchouli is a little bit more grounding. So this is kind of representing the earth element to me in what we take from the earth. And patchouli is about being present. And so when we are doing any harvesting, whether we are doing it within ourselves or whether we are actually harvesting in our garden, being fully present with what we are doing is so important, and patchouli can help with that. It also is about our physical expression, and any celebration is about our physical expression, so patchouli supports us in that. The other oil I've chosen is lavender. Now, lavender is abundant in my garden at the moment, and that is something I will be harvesting and drying for my own use. And lavender is soothing and calming. It's also known as an adaptogen, which means if you're too excited, it will calm you down. But if you get too low, it'll bring you back to a centered state. And expressing who we are during this Lucina celebration and helping us to release, because this celebration is also about not hoarding and releasing and letting go of that which isn't needed anymore, rather than just hanging on to it for the sake of having it. So lavender will support that. And the final oil I've chosen is sweet orange. And sweet orange is the delights of summer. It's the energy of the sun. It's joyful, it's fun, it's light-hearted, but it's also about bringing in abundance and celebrating the abundance that we have and moving us forward into new opportunities for creating new abundance. So that's the reason why I have chosen these 5 oils. So let's begin blending. So I'm going to make up a rollerball blend. In other words, this is a blend that you can use as a perfume. So I have my rollerball. This is a 15 ml capacity. And I have the little roller. This is a steel roller, which makes it easy to roll. And then I have the lid that will go on top. So I'm going to start blending straight into the roller bottle. And I'm going to start with some lime. Lime is a high note when it comes to perfumes. We have base, middle, and high notes. So lime is a high note. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to put a total of about 15 drops into this entire bottle. That will give me a 5% dilution. So I'm going to put in 3 drops of lime. So we'll get that happening. I always go carefully because sometimes it can come running out like that. So there's 3 drops of lime. And I'm going to add just 2 drops of patchouli. Patchouli is a bit thicker. There's 2 drops of patchouli. And then I'm just going to roll the bottle. This is how I mix them. And I'm just going to have a little sniff. And so far, that is good. I'm then going to add 2 drops of lavender. There we go. 3 went in, so 3 it is. You know, mixing and blending aromatherapy oils is, yes, it's a science. You have to know the oils. You have to know all the safety precautions in their usage. But it's also an art that uses your intuition when it comes to the blending of the aromas. So I'm going to roll this one and have a little whiff. And every time you add a new aroma, the oil blend just changes completely. So that's going along well. Lemon myrtle, I'm going to add 2 drops. There we go. And roll that and smell it. So we put in, oh, that's nice. We've put in 9 drops of oil in total so far, and I only put small amounts in to begin with because if then I want to balance it out a bit more, I've still got enough drops left that I can add. So 9 drops, and orange I'm going to do 2. And roll it again. And then have a little sniff. So what I'm doing is I'm getting a sense of the patchouli and the lavender are coming through really strongly. So I want to add in a little bit more lime, 1 more of lime. And we'll just give that a bit of a roll. Oops, sorry, I just hit my camera. Always happens when I'm mixing oils and filming. And I'm feeling it needs a bit more orange. So I'm going to add another 2 drops of orange. And that takes me to about 12 drops so far. So I've got 3 drops left. So when I get to the end of my blending, and I've only got a couple of drops left, I'm very careful about what I add. And I really feel I'd like a couple of more drops of lemon myrtle. That takes me to 14. And you'll notice I just spilled a little bit. That's why I like to have a paper towel over my ceramic mixing tray that I use, so that way any spills are easily absorbed and my workspace doesn't get slippery. Oh, that's much lighter. So I'm getting more of the fruity oils coming through now, balancing out the more earthy or herbaceous oils. And I'm thinking 1 more drop of lemon myrtle, and that will take me to my 15. And then mix it again and have a whiff. Yes, that's finished it nicely. So I've got a good balance between the aromas of the earth and the fruity, more citrusy aromas of the lemon myrtle, the lime, and the orange. And I'm very happy with that. So now that I have my blend, and so I've probably about, yeah, you can see that I've got a little bit in the bottom there. And so what I'm going to do is, with any perfume, you need to use a base or a carrier oil, which is a vegetable oil. You can use oils like jojoba, which is essentially a liquid wax, which is great because it has the same sort of pH as the skin. I like to use cold-pressed sweet almond when I'm making these blends. So unless you're allergic to almonds, this is quite good to use. And I use one of those little cooking oil bottles. I find when I'm making oil blends and I'm going straight into my little roller bottle, I find this works really well. I'm not trying to, pour from a huge spout. And I just fill it up to just below the neck. That gives me a little bit of air for when I pop in the rollerball. When I first started doing this, I actually put too much in, and I put the rollerball in and pressed it down really hard, and the glass bottle broke. So I learned my lesson about leaving a little bit of air. There we go. Lid back on that. And so now I'm going to pop my rollerball in. Now, if you're making oils for yourself, make sure obviously you've got nice, clean, sanitized hands. Because I'm making this one for myself and no one else is going to use it, I haven't put on any gloves, but usually I will put on nitrile gloves as an extra sanitary approach if I'm making oils to sell or for other people. And then I'm going to put the lid on. And now I'm going to wake my blend up. I'm going to mix it thoroughly and wake it up through a thing called succussion. It just means that I'm going to be hitting the base of the bottle on the base of my hand. This is something that's done with a lot of homeopathic remedies to enliven them. And so I like to do it with my essential oils as well. Look, I don't carefully count to 100. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can tell it doesn't take long. And as you can see, I'm starting to get some air bubbles in there, which tells me it's really mixing through. I find with a lot of essential oil blends, yes, you can use them straight away. But if you're making them for a Sabbath and you want to use them, I find making them up, a week or two beforehand and leaving them in a dark cupboard just to let them sort of meld and blend and mature a little bit more, I find is really nice. All right, so let's take the lid off and do a test. So I'm just going to roll it just up here on my arm. And then I'm just going to rub it together and have a little whiff. And yes, I'm really happy with that. You'll find with essential oils, as opposed to fragrant oils or synthetic perfumes, you'll find that the oils are a lot more subtle in their aroma, and you will find that, they're not going to be as invasive in terms of other people's aromatic space when you wear them yourself, unless they come up really close to you. And one thing about aromas and our senses of aromas, once our nose detects that something that we are inhaling is not dangerous for us, after about 20 minutes, we don't notice it. So understand that the aroma is still there, but you just might not be noticing it because your nose has said, I don't need to smell that anymore. That's why sometimes you'll think, hang on, why am I not smelling it? And then you'll bring it up and inhale again and it will be there. Other people coming into your space might smell it. And you can't because you've gotten used to it. There's no danger zone, if that makes sense. Well, I do hope that's been of help. I'd love to know how you go if you decide to make this blend or another one of your own. Remember, there's no right or wrong. I chose the oils based on what I know about aromatherapy and what I know about Lughnasadh and my own intuition around what I feel the blend would be like for me and what other people might like as well. So if you don't have all these oils, if you only have, say, lavender and orange, then make up a blend with lavender and orange. There'll be more videos coming along with more exciting things. Mish is going to be doing some twistations, which is just wonderful to watch. I'll be doing a guided meditation for Lughnasadh. Mish will also be making some smoking bundles from herbs that she has harvested herself as well. So keep an eye out for those videos. But until next time, many bountiful blessings to you.